Shalom, Yisrael, shalom to everybody out there, right? Peace and blessings to those out there who believe and have the faith of Christ. Okay, so let's get back into this Exodus series, right? Exodus 34. Okay, verse 1. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Hew thee 2 tables of stone like unto a first, and I'll write upon these tables the words that were in the first tables which thou breakest. And be ready in the morning, and come up in the morning unto Mount Sinai, and present thyself there to me on top of the mount. And no man shall come up with thee, neither let any man be seen throughout all the mount, neither let the flocks nor herds feed before the mount. And he hewed the 2 tables of stone like unto a first, and Moses rose up early in the morning, and went up unto Mount Sinai, as Yahweh commanded him, and took in his hand the 2 tables of stone. And Yahweh descended in the cloud and stood with him there, and proclaimed the name of Yahweh. So over here, the Most High God, Yahweh, right? He proclaimed his name, right? So Yahweh was his name. He proclaimed that to Moses, right? So Moses, right, witnessed it, just like how Yahweh would have told him. Verse 6. And Yahweh passed by before him and proclaimed, Yahweh, Yahweh Lahayam, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth, keeping mercy for 1,000, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, upon the children's children, unto a 3rd and to a 4th generation. And Moses made haste, and bowed his head toward the earth, and worshipped. And he said, If now I have found grace in thy sight, O Yahweh, let my Yahweh, I pray thee, go among us. For it is a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for thine inheritance. And he said, Behold, I make a covenant before all the people. I will do marvelous, and such as have not been done in all the earth. Slakia. And I will do marvels such as have not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation, and all the people among which thou art shall see the work of Yahweh, for it is a terrible thing that I will do with thee. So over here you got, Most High proclaiming that he said that he was going to do marvels before us. Right. Verse 11. Observe thou that which I commanded thee this day. Behold, I drive out before thee the Amorite, and the Canaanite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land where thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee. But he shall destroy their altars, break their images, and cut down their groves. For thou shalt worship no other God, for Yahweh, whose name is a jealous Allahayim. Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go whoring after their gods, and do sacrifice unto their gods, and one call thee, and thou eat of his sacrifice. And thou take of their daughters unto thy sons, and their daughters go whoring after their gods, and make thy sons go whoring after their gods. Thou shalt make thee no molten gods. The feast of unleavened bread shalt thou keep. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, as I commanded thee. In the time of the month of Abib, for in the month of Abib thou camest out from Egypt. So over here you got a reference to Exodus 12 and 13, right? Over here you got basically the Passover, right? The Feast of Unleavened Bread. Exodus chapter 34, verse 20. But the firstling of an ass thou shalt redeem with a lamb, and if thou redeem him not, Start verse 18. The feast of unleavened bread thou shalt keep. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, as I commanded thee, in the time of the month of Abib. For in the month of Abib thou camest out from Egypt. All that open the matrix is mine, and every firstling among the cattle, whether ox or sheep, that is male. But the firstling of an ass thou shalt redeem with a lamb, and if thou redeem him not, then shalt thou break his neck. All the firstborn of thy sons thou shalt redeem, and none shall appear before me empty. 6 days thou shalt work, but on the 7th day thou shalt rest. In airing time and in harvest thou shalt rest. And thou shalt observe the feast of weeks of the first fruit of wheat harvest, and the feast of ingathering at the year's end. Thrice in a year shall all your manchildren appear before Yahweh Elohim Yasharel. For I will cast out the nation before thee, and enlarge thy borders. Neither shall any man desire the land, when thou shalt go up to appear before Yahweh Elohim thrice in a year. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven, neither shall the sacrifice of the feast of the Passover be left unto the morning. For the first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of Yahweh Elohim. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Write thou these words, for after the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel. And he was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights, and he did neither eat bread nor drink water, and he rose upon the tables, Slakia. And he wrote upon the tables the words of the covenant of, oh my, let me read that again. And he was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights. He did neither eat bread nor drink water, and he wrote upon the tables the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. And it came to pass, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tables of testimonies, it's like 2 tables of testimony in Moses' hand when he came down from the mount, that Moses was not that the skin of his face shone while he talked with them. And when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come nigh him. And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him. And Moses talked with them. And afterward all the children of Israel came nigh, and he gave them in commandment all that Yahweh had spoken with him in Mount Sinai. Until Moses had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. But when Moses went in before Yahweh to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. And he came out and spake unto the children of Israel that which he was commanded. And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, the skin of Moses' face shone, and Moses put the veil upon his face until he went to speak with him. So over here you got a beautiful scenario, right? Moses fasting for 40 days and 40 nights in Mount Sinai, right? Speaking with Yahweh, right? Over here he's writing the 10 commandments, right? But the Most High is giving it to him, right? So over here you have Moses' face shine with brightness, right? Because of him being consecrated and him being holy, right? Him being holy and him having wisdom, knowledge, understanding, right? Because God is speaking with God, And when he comes back down from the Mount Sinai, the children of Israel sees him. They see him and they're like, "Yo, his face is like bright and shiny, yo. Like that stuff is pretty like not normal, right?" So they was kind of afraid of him, you know what I'm saying? But it was because he was just consecrated. He was just holy. Right? He was Kadash. So Adaya Sharel, Salam to everyone. Right? That is it for chapter 34. So Shalom.